Hello and welcome to a live commentary of the Cup of Nations finals that took place about a month ago between between me and Chuck. The match was Pontus versus Gaul. Chuck was up 1-0 at this point. I didn't save the replay of the first game because I was really pissed off. So if Chuck wants to give me that replay, I can do a commentary of that game later, even though I really don't want to. So yeah, I've got 6 archers, 4 bronze shield pikemen, 5 Pontic light cavalry, 1 scythe chariot, and 2 chariot archers. Chuck brought 6 barbarian noble cavalry, 2 barbarian cavalry, 6 dogs, and 6 invisible archers. So right away I'm going to shoot his archers with my CA in Cantabrian. This is good because these archers are very expensive and low defense considering their price. So getting some early shots is quite good. They're also quite critical to his game plan. I'm going to try and initiate sort of archer war with my peripheral archer here. But he's going to pull back, try and get shots with his penultimate archer here. So I do get some decent-ish kills here. He's going to try to send his warhounds at my chariot archers. And I already have a planned response to that, which is to pull my chariot archers into my pikes. But he already had a planned response to my planned response, which was to push and try to flank this pike and eliminate it while it's fighting my dogs. And what I'm going to do is shoot his cavalry while he's doing that. So it ends up being a pretty fair trade. He does get a full pike unit, but I get a little bit of damage on 2 units of dogs and a little bit of damage on 3 units of cavalry, so it's not so bad. And so he's continuing to push. He's getting kind of far forward with these warbands, hoping to get shots on my scythe chariots, but he's got to be careful. They're a bit far from support, and I'm getting my Javcav in here, which is risky because these guys have spears. He should maybe go for this general unit. It's kind of exposed. That's what I would do. I'm running it sort of out into the distancer. So he's going to push over here with a lot of cavalry, which means he doesn't have many cavalry over here to protect his bit isolated archers. So I'm going to take these guys out while he counterattacks. And I lose a Javcav for no reason, but I do pick up 1 archer, and I'm going to keep the ball rolling into these 2. This is kind of a pointless push, I would say. My archers aren't that valuable, and this chariot archer is going to get shots. I was a bit lucky to save it there, but it's going to get some shots on his cavalry, and he's just going to get tired. So now that I've cleaned up these 3 archer units, I'm going to want to continue to push into these 2. Especially given that these cav are so far, or at least that was the plan. Just kill the rest of these foresters. But as you will see, my plan goes to shit extremely quickly because of these dog units, basically. And he's hustling to return these cavalry units. and my general is extremely exposed. But yeah, he sends all of his dogs against my Javcav, and I should have just sort of pulled back the ones that were getting targeted and saved the rest. But instead I try to like blob fight the dogs, which is pretty stupid. And he kills this pike as well as my general, so yeah, here I am trying to like just eliminate the dogs in melee, which is a bit suspect. So at this point, he's got a major advantage on the battlefield here. Yeah, see how many dog units were chasing this one Pontic light cavalry tells you that I should have definitely dispersed instead of fighting. That was quite stupid. But yeah, his forces are strong. He's got 3 units of foresters, which is enough to deal with my scythe chariots. And he's got way more cavalry, more than enough to kill this pike unit, more than enough to block off any attempts for me to do anything with these Pontic light cavalry. So I really have to synergize with all of my units if I'm going to have any chance here. And at a certain point I'm going to need to make a push and take out as many archers as I possibly can, and hope that this scythe chariot can pull off some funky shit and kill everything else, which is definitely possible. But so yeah, I'm going to go for that push now, and I'm trying to hide this chariot, keeping it close enough to support. And if I were him at this point, he should just go for it, honestly. Just target my scythe with everything, and then just click melee attack orders on my units, because if I can't push into these archers, this chariot isn't going to be able to do enough damage while being flamed. So yeah, that was a critical error. He tries to sort of skirmish, which isn't the play here. He should really just go melee right away. So instead I'm able to get into first this archer, and then this archer, and this little nub is able to get shots on my scythe, but that's pretty much the best case scenario for me, because there were 3 of them. They were bound to get some shots. And I get a suicide charge on that nub, which was very cheeky. So I actually kill all 3 of his archers pretty easily without getting flamed much and without losing many melee units. So that was huge. Basically saved the tournament. And at this point I have an advantage. But the game is going to continue to take twists and turns, and as you'll see, I will nearly throw away the advantage after a protracted period of fucking sitting here and doing nothing, as CWB games are apt to be like in the endgame at some points. Chuck is actually fresher than me, so he could really push if he wanted to. Perhaps the reason he didn't go melee is because he was so tired. Maybe he was worried that his units wouldn't be able to beat my pikemen or something. But even if they didn't, if he routed my scythe chariot pretty much that was game over no matter what, even if he lost a lot of cavalry. And by routed, I mean amok. I tend to like these waiting periods in games. People say it's boring, but you know, I get so engrossed in the gameplay that for me, I'm just thinking about plans the entire time. I don't get bored at all. But yeah, in a replay context, it is, I guess, a bit boring. So here I make a big error. These chariot archers are tired, and I'm being a little fast and loose with them here. I mean, they're quite close to the line, kind of far from support, and these guys are fresh, so this is pretty dumb. And then I make a horrible maneuver here, pulling this way, further isolating my chariot archer, and he's just gonna make a break right for it. He made a good sort of fake maneuver towards my scythe, like he was gonna attack there, and then he just decides to go for this isolated unit. So now I decide to just go ahead with my scythe chariots, and this whole game kind of hinges on what he's able to do on the charge to this chariot, because if this chariot doesn't lose too many men on the charge, it's just gonna cut through these guys like butter. The good thing is that this isn't quite straight on, so that quite benefits my scythe. If it were 100% straight on, the charge would probably annihilate my scythe chariot. But see, some of his cav kind of just miss because of shitty targeting. Or just shitty maneuverability of the sprites or whatever. So I just get into this final melee. I know I'm going to win. I come in and support with this pike. And that's pretty much game. So there will be a climactic third battle. And I was very concerned that, you know, maybe I missed something and there's another invisible archer waiting to pop out of the ether and ruin my plans, but especially because he was waiting to admit. But that isn't the case, and I win the game. So I'll see you guys in the next battle.